Welcome to today's fast track episode of The Growth Zone. My name is Christian Bartsch, and these episodes provide you with a focused, mind-feeding topic. You can use it to have some new ideas to guide you through the day. Let's get started on today's topic. In today's episode, we are going to look at how IoT devices become part of train models and all these tracks and these things that people love if they are into these train models, especially those who build these big tracks with trains and model houses and train stations and all these different things. These are typically very small elements. They're toys or collector's items. And people, of course, love as well, partly doing a lot of the electronics in it and wiring. And people usually put a lot of time and effort into these hobbies. The thing is, as times change, we have, of course, one of the key things that we see in demographics. More and more people are going towards other things. Children before used to love having those toys. They did that together with their parents, and they do maybe with their grandparents and that. And younger generations now don't actually feel typically attracted to that kind of stuff. So it becomes a necessity to find new ways so that these companies that manufacture these kind of toys and those who collect these things and make them as a big hobby and then maybe have a big room filled or a small room even, or it's maybe part of the children's room where they have these even small tracks and that. It is finding new ways to actually attract the next generation to these fun things, these toys, these collector's items, the things that become the passion to even look into electronics, into engineering and other kind of things. Because the thing is, as they build these trains, as they assemble them or assemble the tracks and so on, children learn all these different elements of transportation and electronics and that. And it's a fun thing. And later on, maybe in their careers, they decide maybe to go in a certain direction and do that, what they love doing, what they enjoy doing, and they actually find whether they are good at or maybe not good at. But it's at least an opportunity to look towards what might be something for their future. But now with IoT devices, what can we do? We can use IoT devices to actually increase the smartness of these models, of these trains, the tracks, the buildings around it. So you don't need that much complex wiring, but you can even use a Wi-Fi system and that to actually connect and create a new type of model experience. Because the people then can start, or the kids can start programming. They program the things, they connect the devices, and they try to develop smarter ways of the things interacting with each other than just lighting up some LEDs just without any kind of sense. So you could even build a kind of smart city that does something, and you enjoy more the experience of using these kind of things and toys. And you start deciding, how can I design my little city, my little town where trains are going through, and add other interesting things. And when you are actually into, when you're doing the product marketing, the retail, you're trying to sell these products, design these products, and looking towards what next generations are going to feel attracted to, it's quite a challenge, because many companies who've been in that industry have gone bankrupt. They haven't been able to sell enough products in order to keep the business running in a productive way. Companies have been taken over, eventually even cut down, and some maybe trying to invest and rebuild the business in the hope that the next generation might even take. But the thing is, you have to redesign the product so that it becomes smarter, and you can offer a new way of interacting between maybe the parent and the trains, and as well the child with the trains and with the parent. So creating a new world that is interesting, because otherwise kids will say, well, I just want to play with my computer, with my smartphone, my tablet, play games and so on. instead of actually doing something with the train models, because that'll be quite fun as well. Like, for instance, having kits, IoT kits, that they can introduce into the whole thing and build new stuff. Be creative. It's like having the Lego system where you have this all different kind of color parts, and you can create any kind of fun toy. You can create a cafe, you can create a plane or a ship or harbor, any of these things. And when you go and take that kind of concept towards products like model trains and so on, and all these landscapes, if you combine that, you can be creative as well in a more modern way. And even if you're a parent and you're thinking, how can I get my kid interested into that? I have to offer something new, some kind of new interaction, some kind of new exploration, because there's so much modern technology and many things have long been obsolete. It's not interesting anymore, this and that, because the technology of today is so advanced compared to the times when we were kids. And that's where we have to find ways to make it interesting, and maybe even find the talents in our kids, what they maybe even like and how we can introduce. And trains, and the same thing with Lego as well on these things, it's just not just a thing that just boys enjoy. Girls can enjoy these things too. And even if you've got a racing track is something that you can play as father as well with your daughter. And that's the thing. You can even play with your daughter and son, or however, vice versa. The key thing is, how do you find for your child an ideal introduction? And when you think, yes, business or maybe marketing or maybe engineering and so on, many girls are going now, and have been before, but at a much lower number. They're going into all these mathematics, in these engineering careers, programmers and so on. Highly talented young women developing a career in the future and developing some really awesome products and systems and services. But the key thing is what we as parents offer them as an opportunity to explore this technology, and notice it's not something that you must be fearful of, but it can be quite fun, interesting, challenging, and at the same time you can be very, very creative and let them just explore and have their own ideas. And that's a great thing. You show them it's not something to be afraid of. It's something you can play around, you can experiment, have ideas, try stuff out, and eventually they become fascinated what the technology can offer for them. And as a product, of course, if you're designing your product, try to incorporate the interaction with the child in a much more modern way. Let them be more playful and develop the world that they see for the future, and not the way these products were designed like 40, 70 years ago. The times have changed, but it doesn't mean that a model train system or landscape can eventually be something that you can put in a museum and nobody wants to buy it. You just have to adapt the product to today's time, in today's context of what marketing, product design, retail, and as well the education with the customers and the users can offer you. And that's the great thing. IoT devices can be a very interesting experimental product, and that can increase the attractivity of your product. And with a competitive market where you need to have some kind of competitive advantage, that's what becomes your advantage if you make the effort to think out of the box and move ahead and see how you can tap onto new customer areas and enter new markets, and not just regional, but as well a niche, in the vertical and the horizontal ways. In the next episodes, we'll be talking about other ways how IoT and marketing can influence how we in a certain vertical can build and expand our market opportunities for business, for new businesses and existing businesses. I hope you enjoyed the fast track edition of today. I would like to invite you to follow our show so that you don't miss the upcoming interviews with leaders in the market. Simply visit the website follow.prmediareach.com. I will be adding the link also to the description of this episode so that you just need to click on that link. The link is follow.prmediareach.com. follow.prmediareach.com. You can follow me also on Twitter by using the Twitter handle CAPBarch. So it's spelled CAPBARTSCH. Or for those who are into sailing and flying, Charlie Alpha Papa Bravo Alpha Romeo Tango Sierra Charlie Hotel. Yes, that's CAP Barge. See you soon or hear you soon in the next episode. And please share as well this episode if you've enjoyed it and would like to let others have the opportunity to use it as well to get new ideas and insights.